Hey guys, this is Esports Money ZSM Mac 10, whatever you want to call me, and you can see my face, because today we're doing patch analysis. I just uploaded an anti-mage guide for jungling anti-mage. I'd like to apologize, because it's still viable, but you're probably going to have to add another minute or two onto your jungle. It's only going to be a minute or two, because you get 200 more gold since you're not buying Quelling Blade anymore. Well, actually, you still are buying Quelling Blade, because you need it for Battle Fury, so you're going to add a couple minutes because you no longer kill creeps as quickly because they've nerfed something, and we'll get into this in the guide, or we'll get into this in the patch notes. I normally have a rule against uploading 2 videos in one day, but here we are because we have a new patch. I'm a little bit annoyed with this because it invalidates a good chunk of my recent guides, or at least some of the work that I've done on some of my recent guides. Not all of them, but a couple of them. So, patch 7.05. Treant Protectors in Captain's Mode. That's cool, I guess. Base armor reduced by 2, and now they gain plus 1 more armor per nearby enemy hero, so 3 per total enemy. This is like, it's a slight buff to towers. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal because with Lycan you're typically fighting towers without anyone near you anyway, but it actually disincentivizes people that don't do a lot of damage to buildings from coming with you when you rat. Shrine HP regen reduced. That's kind of annoying, for my jungling guides especially, but for general gameplay it's a little bit annoying. I don't think that needed to happen, but it's okay. I think they just want to make Shrines scale a little bit worse into the late game. I would rather them have a change where they restored more health early on and then changed up at some point if they could do that. Intelligence-based spell amplification increased 1%, 16 intelligence to 1% per 15. Not a big deal, but I'm totally in favor of them increasing this even farther. I think that's a really, really, really cool change, just because it's awesome. It's neat. So they slightly reduced the requirement to level up post level 20, at least to get to level 25. Slight rescale, doesn't really affect anything. Hand of Midas XP bonus. This is kind of a big deal because it affects the item of a very, very, very expensive early game item. So you get more gold and you get less experience, and I think this is designed to incentivize using the Hand of Midas on smaller creeps early on, because typically what you do is you use the Hand of Midas on the biggest possible creep in the early game, and then when you're in the jungle later on, you use it on the smallest possible creep. So this might change that to where you're okay with using it on a small creep early on, just because it's 220 gold now. That's a pretty big deal, and it didn't change the recipe cost or the cooldown. Still might be useful to use it on the largest creep for the first couple of uses, but you'll definitely be transitioning into using it on smaller creeps much more quickly now. This doesn't change the way you use it in lane. The way you use it in lane is you always use it on the range creep, because the range creep gives you the most experience and the less money, so more for the multiplier to effect, and more gold gain. So, Orb of Venom doesn't change much, except the DPS changed a little bit is kind of good, because the DPS is essentially irrelevant right now, and it still is, but it's a nice little teeny tiny bonus. Tranquil Boots. I really, really like this change. So Tranquil Boots requires Windlace instead of Ring of Protection, no longer provides armor. It never really needed to provide armor, because I'm pretty sure the armor that you got, DotA 2 Tranquil Boots. I think the Tranquil Boots actually, so the health regeneration and movement speed are lost. So it actually did give you a +3 armor back in the day, even when it was disabled, but I think 10 movement speed is slightly better. Only thing I don't like is now this increases the cost of Tranquil Boots from that 175 becomes 250, so it's another 75 gold, but they increase the movement speed of it by 5 enabled and 10 when disabled. So I think this is a good idea. Tranquil Boots are already like a super high movement speed item compared to its alternatives like freaking Power Treads and Phase. So they really help supports move across the map now, and they still don't prevent supports from dying when they're running away, which is good. Power Treads attribute bonus change from 9 to 10. I love that. I love Power Treads, so I'm always happy with the Power Treads buff. I hate this change. Quelling Blade bonus damage no longer stacks with Iron Talon, so any guides that I have where we get Quelling Blade and Iron Talon, unless you're building a Battle Fury, completely disregard that change. Or completely disregard buying a Quelling Blade. Just, you can still use the guide, just don't build Quelling Blade anymore. To my knowledge, it's the only neutral change that was made. Abaddon's strength gain reduced. That's a little bit annoying. I don't think he was broken. Ancient Apparition rescaled a bit I don't think that affects most of the way that he's played. Slight buff to his CDs. I think that's overall a slight buff to Ancient Apparition. Maybe a medium buff, but it's probably a slight buff. It doesn't really change him that much. Alchemist, that's a significant nerf, but again, I don't think it really affects the way that he's jungled, except for the fact that you definitely aren't going to get a Quelling Blade after the Iron Talon. Bane, I think this is a universal buff. Yeah, that's a universal buff. He just got a solid buff. Brewmaster, because they reduced the base attack time, even though they technically reduced his demolish damage, because any auras you get don't stack, don't give you the bonus against buildings. Because they reduced the base attack time, I think it's still a buff, because you usually don't have auras unless you build a Vlads on Brewmaster. Level challenge changed from plus 20 Primal Spirit unit armor to plus 2,000 health to Primal Spirit youth units. That's freaking massive. That's so much better than the armor, it's not even funny. Because if you are building the Vlads or an AC, then you already have a boatload of armor anyway, so you don't care. So that's awesome. That is so good. So Brewmaster overall, I think, got a pretty solid buff just across the board here. Everything got buffed. Everything got buffed. He's just better now, objectively. Bristleback, Quill Spray AoE increased. I like that. Actually, I don't like that. He's already kind of good. He got an overall buff to everything. So all of his one talent at every level, or one level 15 talent got buffed, and both level 25 talents got buffed. The stack damage increase is so crazy. Like, that's already really good. Even at level 25, it's pretty good. So, Bristlebacks, they're just trying to see more of him. Incapacitating Bite. So, Broodmother is a hero that I think needs a buff overall, and I think because of how much gold her Spiderlings give you, she just always needs a buff. Just because she's a walking pinata if you aren't good with her. So I'm okay with this. She got a universal buff. Chen, if I say universal buff, I mean everything that we did to her made her better and not worse. Chen, universal buff. Again, he's not super popular right now, so I'm okay with this. If you're wondering about the music, it's no copyright sounds going on in the background. Twitch channel. Pretty cool channel. Clockwork, base strength increased by 2, small buff. Death Prophet, strength gain increase. That's a little bit dangerous because the limiting factor of her is the cooldowns and how quickly you can kill her, so making her harder to kill is kind of a big deal. And she just got a universal buff. Doom! First change is a buff to damage. Talent, these are all just slight buffs across the board. Whoa. Doom can devour Ancient now. I don't think that's that big of a deal. Unless you're kind of underfarmed and appropriately leveled and you need farm really, really badly. So that's cool. But overall, I don't think level 25 challenge. Yeah, no, that's a pretty significant buff, I think. Not that huge, but it's significant. Plus 40 health regen at level 25 is pretty big, because Doom is already hard to kill as it is, because he's a super tanky strength hero that you build armor on. So this DK talent is huge. 40% EXP gain from level 15 is a pretty big deal. Level 10 talent attack speed, 25 to 30. Okay. Level 10 talent strength, just universal buff to DK. Earth Spirit, slight nerf. I don't think that's huge. Level 1 is pretty big nerf. Level 3, by the time he's level 5, you don't really notice it. By level 7, it's fine. Well, no, I don't know. I have no idea how you skill Earth Spirit, so I can't really tell you how big of a nerf this is, but it seems like a slight nerf. Ember Spirit, slight nerf. I don't think he needed it, but whatever. Enchantress, Intelligent Growth. So she got a slight universal buff, and I agree with this because I don't see her that much. Invoker, base strength reduced by 1. That's a good change. I think Invoker is really, really popular right now, and he's always kind of been pretty good, so slight nerf to him's okay. Agility Grain and Faceless Void increased. I really like that, because I really like right-click Void. That's not a huge deal. It's only going to give you, like, 1.5 armor at level after 10 levels, or 1.5 agility after 10 levels, so it's not a huge deal, but it's nice. Juggernaut, base movement speed reduced by 5. Jug's pretty good right now, but I don't think he deserves a serious nerf, so that's okay. Lich, this is cool. Chain Frost Slow increased, which is big because it means that you're going to hit more people with your thing, but the duration is reduced from 4 to 2.5. But I think that's okay, because typically if you're getting hit by multiple bounces, it's not because the slow wore off. Sacrifice cooldown reduced at all levels except level 1. If they reduce it at level 1, they'd make him super, super, super broken. But he's overall universal buff to him, in my opinion. That's good. Lifestealer, open wounds, mana cost rescaled. So, slight nerf? Slight universal nerf to Lifestealer. Lina, level 10 talent change for -2 respawn time. That is huge! Oh my goodness, plus 125 cast range at level 10 is absolutely massive, because you might not have all your movement speed items then, especially if you went mid or if you're a support. Which I guess is the only way to play here. But you might not have all your movement speed items, so you can't get into cast range. That's huge. That's really good. Lycan, level 10 talent increased from plus 175 health to 200. Since they reduced the damage talent at level 10, this actually means that this change is starting to... They're trying to make this change look better and better and better and better and better, and you might consider getting the health now. I probably still would go for the damage, but plus 200 health is nothing to scoff at. The thing is, Lycan's pretty tanky to begin with, and you really want that extra damage because you just want to be able to kill people within that window during your ult. Lycan Shapeshift critical damage increased drastically. This is really, really good. Plus 20% crit damage at all levels. That is sweet. That's so cool. So Lycan, universal buff. That's cool. Magnus, slight nerf. Monkey King. Oh my god, I don't want to review this. Monkey King, Boundless Strike stun duration reduced. Primal Spring mana cost rescaled. So I actually like that because it means he's better at level 25. Primal Sling slow is rescaled, so they're trying to make him a harder carry, it looks like. So I kind of like that. They make him stronger later on. Except for his ulti. So I kind of like that. They're trying to make him a right-click hero that's good later in the game, as opposed to this mid-game hero that's just broken as hell. Nature's Prophet base damage increased by 6, so with no items, Nature's Prophet now does 62 damage per right-click. This is huge. It's not a huge change, but it just makes it so Nature's just shitloads of damage with his right-click. It's cool. Phantom Lancer, Phantom Rush, bonus agility. So I think Phantom Lancer needs a buff right now, because right now he's just shitty Wukong. It's a slight buff, it's cool. Phoenix, base strength increased by... Wait a minute, hold on, let me see what's going on with Phantom Lancer. I think I might have missed something. So, Phantom Rush. Temporary agility bonus. So, agility duration is only 2 seconds, so yeah, that's not significant at all. It's okay. Pugna. Slight universal buff. Irrelevant. Queen of Pain. The cast range of Shadow Strike has been rescaled to be higher at all levels but level 1. That's really, really good. Also, the damage per tick, really, really good. This helps her win lanes. You might see her again, but I doubt it. Razor. Overall, looks like he got a universal buff. I hate the hero, but he's pretty decent. Shadow Shaman. What is this? Universal buff. Everything is better now. The +3 Shackles duration at level 20 is gigantic. And level 25 talent for Ether Shock damage. What is his current? What is his level 25 talents? I'm not up to date with all the talents, guys. I'm sorry. +1 Math, Serpent Ward attacks health. You might actually go for the Ether Shock damage now, because you're usually ratting or team fighting, usually in situations where people aren't attacking the wards anyway. So, 350 Ether Shock damage. They've already updated this. So plus 350, what is the base? Oh my god. 700 damage and a massive AoE? Yeah, that's pretty good. I think you actually go for Ether Shock now. Skywrath Mage, universal buff. I think he's always been good, but he's not played very much right now. Sven, great cleave distance increased significantly. 570 cleave range. That is huge. What is the Battle Fury range? Do they have the cleave? The distance is 570, so it matches Battle Fury now. Okay. -8 seconds Stormhammer cooldown. I think it's like 11 at level 4 or something. Cooldown, cooldown, cooldown. It's 13 at all levels. Now it's -8, so that would put you at a 5-second cooldown. That's pretty darn decent. So this is an up-to-date page. So the 5-second cooldown on Stormhammer is pretty good. But what is his other talent? This is bonus damage. It's not base damage, so it doesn't stack with God's Strength, I don't think. Raw bonus damage is not increased. It's only base damage. So, yeah, you don't get the 65 damage, I think. I think you get the Stormhammer cooldown just so you have an AoE stun all the time. Techies. Oh, shoot! That's cool. But I think that actually... I think the sound effect here actually nerfs him. It's a sound effect when proximity mines are primed to explode. Techies, level 25 talent. I think that's better. I think that's better. Yeah, they just swapped some talents around. It seems like a slight buff to Techies. Tiny, base damage increased by 3, that's cool. Plus 40, so universal small buffs to Tiny. Treant Protector enabled in Captain's Mode. Leech Seed Slow reduced. I don't like that. Overgrowth cooldown increased at all levels except for the max level. And base movement speed reduced by 5. I think the base movement speed is the biggest deal. The ulti cooldown's kind of significant, especially level 1. But the base movement speed reduced by 5 is really annoying because he does a shitload of damage at level 1. He has the highest base damage of any hero in Dota 2, or at least he did the last I checked. So reducing his movement speed means less of those attacks will connect, which is kind of a big deal. We're at 16 minutes already. I wanted this to be a quick video, but whatever. Underlord, level 10 talent increased from 4 armor to 5. Underlord level 15 talent increased from 10% spell amplification to 12. And level 15 talent increased from 35 movement to 40. At 40 move speed, I think you might want to go for that over the spell amplification, because Overlord is like a hero you get for positioning, not for the actual damage. But, I mean, you don't really need his movement speed for the positioning because you're talking about the ulti here, so I think it's up to you. One of the things that makes Underlord great is that he can set traps while he's running away and then create a great diversion for his team. And the movement speed makes it so he's less likely to die when he's running away, especially if you have the armor from level 10, but he's a relatively tanky strength hero to begin with, so you don't really care that much. Viper, level 10 talent increased from 150 health to 175. Level 15 talent increased from 8 strength to 10. Level 15 talent increased 14 agility to 16. Level 20 talent increased from 7 armor to poison attack affects buildings. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. This is actually huge, I think. That is 28 damage per second for 2 seconds. So every second you're doing an additional 28 damage per second against buildings. I don't know how this, I don't know how much this is reduced against buildings, but if this is not reduced against buildings, how does this compare to Dragon Knight? So, this is better than the Dragon Knight passive against buildings. This is so good. Again, it's level 25, or, no, level 20. It's level 20, so you can do this way earlier on. And his level 25 talent changed from poison attack affects buildings to plus 20 armor. So, what's the other choice for that? 80 Viper Strike DPS. Viper Strike DPS is 145 from the get-go, so I think you go with the plus 20 armor. It makes you super, super tanky, which is useful if you're trying to rat. Like, if you're ratting and you're like... I guess you have to focus one building at a time because of the regen that goes on there, but like... There could be situations where you're alternating attacks between racks and the plus 20 armor to keep you alive. I don't know. This just seems like a really, really good change for Viper if you don't think he's good. I think he's okay right now, but he's not a hero that I mind being better, so I'm okay seeing this. A lot of heroes are either good now and I don't think they need to be better, or are bad now and I think they need to be, or are not great now and should be. They're okay now, but they don't need to be nerfed. I don't think Abaddon needs a nerf. I don't think Alchemist needs a nerf, but a lot of people are going to disagree with me. A lot of people, I'm going to get hanged for saying that. I'm going to get lynched because everyone wants to nerf about Alchemist. Bristleback, I don't think needs a buff. Everyone loves Bristleback and wants to buff him, and I like him too, but damn, he's a nightmare to lane against as it is. So, moving on to Winter Wyvern. Level 15 talent increased from plus 40 damage to plus 50. Movement speed increased from 15 to 20. Just small universal buff. Zeus! Base intelligence increased by 2. Level 10 challenge chains from plus 200 health to plus 25 movement speed. I'm not sure how that helps him, because a lot of people slow movement speed or stun you to kill you. Level 15 talent increased from 10 magic resist to 15 and 5 armor to 7. Small universal buff for the talents at 15. I guess it depends on the kind of team that you're facing against. So if you're against a lot of magic damage, you go with magic resist. If you're against a lot of not magic damage, you go with armor. Zeus, level 20 talent changed from 35 movement speed to 75 arc lightning damage. What in the world is this nonsense? Nimbus, what is this? Oh, it's the Aghanim Scepter thing. Oh, yeah, that's really cool. I forgot about that. But, so what do they take away? Movement speed? They took away, yeah, movement speed at level 20. So minus 40 respawn time versus 75 arc lightning damage. There's no way that's real. 75 arc lightning damage puts him at 220 damage. And it bounces for up to 15 targets. So you have 225 magic damage plus the static field of 10 or 12% of their current damage. 10% of current health as damage after you do 225 damage to everything around you, and that 1200 radius, everything around you takes 10% of its magic, of its remaining health as damage after you do 225 magic damage, and it costs you 80 mana, and it's on a 1.6 second cooldown. This makes Arc Lightning awesome. This makes Arc Lightning so good. This means that he can actually like stack like hard camps. He can get like a triple or a quad stack. He didn't even do quad stacks anymore of hard camps, and then just destroy, like level them in like less than 10 seconds. Literally like literally less than 10 seconds. He can level like a quad stack. That's so good. He's so good at clearing waves now. So that's my analysis, guys. I'm really sorry about the guide earlier. I recorded it yesterday, and as I was uploading it, the new patch was released. It wasn't even brought to my attention until after the video was already uploaded, so please bear with me. I hope you enjoyed these patch notes as a kind of consolation prize. I'm not going to take that video down, because you can still kind of basically do everything I did in that video, except you have to be more efficient. You can't. I fucked up a few times in terms of stacking and other things, and you can't do that anymore if you want to get your Battle Fury at a reasonable time. Anyway, my name's Esports Money, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me. If you like this video, leave me a like. If you don't like this video, you know what to do. But if you like this video, leave me a like. Please hit the subscribe button. Consider hitting the bell on the subscribe button after you subscribe to get notifications from me, so you'll be updated every time I release a new video. Thanks very much, guys, and have a wonderful evening. Peace.